How to prevent overheating of your car when you go through traffic jams in summer, in desert. Patrick's Garage. Grab your snack, welcome back. First of all, a little disclaimer. Your cooling system should be absolutely clean inside, at least not so dirty with sludge. Obvious reason will be when your cooling fan stops working. What can be causes of these things when it not works as it should be? I remember when I worked as a young driver and in traffic jams, I spent a lot of times in traffic jams if I worked as a driver. So, I remember that this electric fan stopped and I see that arrow goes to the overheating designation. And I opened the hood and I noticed this picture that from engine a lot of vapors, this coolant from the cap, expansion tank cap, I can't remember expansion tank cap or radiator cap, but was a lot of vapor under the hood. And which cause was these wires which goes to this sender, this switch which incorporated to the bottom side of radiator or to the upper side of the radiator. This depends of your model. So anyway, these wires just falls down, and I noticed this connection also was a little bit green color, so we must to check these contacts. So this will be really obvious reason why this our fan cooling fan not works, because fuses, this is special fuses for this fan, and when this fan not automatically, it should be works and switched automatically from this uh, sender which incorporated to the holes maybe, but this not work, so I connected all these wires as it should be, so this fan start working and I'm continue driving through this traffic jam where I go on my car with my passenger. So he was not worried about these problems. This was my problems as a driver in traffic jams. So these contacts should be in good condition. This number one obvious thing, cooling fan not works. With belt, this cooling fan in my Volvo 140 series B20, so there is no these problems. This fan always working and fresh air goes from the radiator to the engine. All the time when we look at the cooling system in the engine, we must to check pressure of coolant. Lost pressure, that means overheated engine. This plug opens at the certain amount of pressure inside the system. The boiling temperature will be lower when pressure lower. The pressure holds inside the system higher, so boiling temperature will be more higher. So the engine will not overheat it so fast. And now I remember a lot of things which was related with this condition. When my Volkswagen, I remember that this engine and a lot of large sport with this red liquid was in the cooling system of my Volkswagen system, and as turns out, these leaks was from plastic water pump. The small gap and seal on this gap, so it will be attached to the engine, but it was broken at one point was small crack. Probably this was factory defects, I don't know, but later, as turns out, this plastic water pump was cracked a little bit at this gap where this rubber seal installed. Lost coolant, lost pressure, overheated engine. But I noticed this spot under the car before I driving anywhere, so there is no problems. And we go to the station where we repaired this pump. So strange that these mechanics go around a lot of time around the car. They can't figure it what wrong from where this coolant goes. I remember when I was a young guy, this problem was broken expansion tank in my gray color Volvo 1969. So was a hole inside the expansion tank. You can guess what that means. Lost pressure, lost coolant, and overheated engine. And also number 4, leaks from the shaft of water pump. You know, you can hear these bearings noise, this play in the shaft, impeller wigglings. And when I figured that this coolant dripping from the shaft of the pump, I decided to replace the pump, and I noticed this so strange that impeller was made out of plastic, and these leaks through the sealant, through the seal of this shaft, and probably over tightened fan belt was, which was causes that bearings was worn so fast. Now I bought Chinese-made original water pump, which works normally couple years. I want to admit that this Chinese part works perfectly. Water pump, nothing wrong that this was made in China. We want to admit that Volvo in current days Chinese product. A really dangerous thing when head gasket blown. And when head gasket blown, you can get overheated engine. This engine will be more overheated than it should be before gasket was blown. So what you don't want to admit that, but this can be overheated engine, blown gasket, the cause of overheated engine. You want to measure the pressure in all cylinders, and if you see in one cylinder lost pressure, probably in this point somewhere gasket was blown, or you can do this adapter for the hole of the spark plug, and you applying this pressure air to this cylinder, and you will notice from where this air blows. This inside the engine, probably piston valves may be worn, but you see, if the air goes to the bubbles in the expansion tank, probably air goes to the cooling system. This obvious that had gasket blown, and this real cause of overheated engine. Today we caught all these reasons why engine can be overheated, these causes more obvious, but if you want to add any things, will be good. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Click the subscribe button and notifications bell, so that way you can be notified as soon as I upload new videos about car repairing. If you really like my videos, please share it with with your friend.